A while back, I made a video discussing the copyright problems that Undertale's music was currently going through. To put it simply, that video did extremely well, and many people wanted a response from Undertale's music publishing company, Materia Music, considering all the drama was based off of their handling and the CEO's handling of the game's music. Well, Materia Music actually personally reached out to me and asked me to do an interview with a representative from the company. Now, it's a lot for a person to ask every single question that's in everyone's minds, so I took to social media to ask the Undertale community to give me questions to ask for the interview. I did end up reading every last question that was asked, and yes, I mean over 400 of them, but obviously I couldn't fit them all into one video. Most questions asked were joke questions or questions repeating the same thing as other questions, so I just took the first one I saw. And also, this entire drama was started because people wanted to voice their support towards Undertale fan games. So if you're a fan game enjoyer and want to see some awesome Undertale fan games, I'll be hosting a charity live stream next Saturday on April 27th to play as many Undertale fan games as possible as long as people keep donating to it. It'll be for the Trevor Project charity, which raises money for LGBTQ people, and there's even going to be developer commentary for Delta Traveler and TS Underswap. Our goal is to make it to the end of June, but we can only make it that far if enough people donate. So if that's something you're into, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. But other than that, I hope you enjoy this interview.
Hello YouTube, my name is Jamie. I am the label director at Materia. So my role, it's like a little bit of many different things. I handle like team operations, so I make sure that everyone is like working together, meeting deadlines, stuff like that. I also do a little bit of A&R, which stands for Artists and Repertoire. Basically that involves like reaching out to new people, new partners, new companies, you know, expanding opportunities for the company, meeting new composers, etc., etc. And then like a little bit of everything else, you know, wherever like an extra hand is needed, I'll jump in and do whatever. It's a pretty small team, so you know we all kind of help each other out where we need to. Yeah, generally that's the gist of my role.
All right, question number 1. Is it actually true that there is no way for YouTube content ID detections on Undertale music to ignore claims, as is Toby's stated wish, instead of automatically demonetizing the video and requiring a manual dispute from the creator to remove?
Unfortunately, no. The YouTube content ID system doesn't allow that for certain types of works, and that includes musical works. The content ID system just sort of does what it does. You know, we can't turn that off. And actually, one interesting thing that I should mention that I think a lot of people don't know is, you know how when you get a claim on YouTube, it says like, this video has been claimed by X. That's technically true, but also technically not true. What I mean by that is not an instance of like your video being manually claimed. For example, you know, I know Undertale Yellow is kind of the topic of the minute. None of the Undertale Yellow videos were manually claimed by anyone at Materia. Those were all done automatically by the content ID system. But because the claim is being instituted on your behalf as the rights holder, it says that you're the one claiming the video, even if you're not actually manually going in there and doing it. But as far as like an ignored and hope it goes away policy, unfortunately, the existing system right now, music industry wide, is that we can't do that.
How come you go after Undertale Yellow music and not any other fan game? I've played and watched countless fan games that use melodies or even whole songs from original Undertale and Deltarune, but none of those have caused such a disturbance like Undertale Yellow. For example, I know TS Underswap uses Megalovania, for instance.
Perfect question to kind of segue into that area. You know, this is kind of a silly answer, but it is what it is. Sometimes things just don't get noticed. Like sometimes smaller projects will just slip under the radar and, you know, the content IT system will ding them. You know, to be clear, Materia tries to leave everything alone as much as humanly possible. Toby has made it his wish that we take as much of a hands-off approach to his catalog as we can, and we try to honor that as much as is possible. You know, we are not going to sit there and like go out of our way to ding every YouTube video that uses Undertale as a BGM or whatever. Sometimes when videos get big enough and they command enough attention, the content ID system will ding them, and then we have no choice but to do something. Undertale Yellow was big enough that like the system caught it. Perhaps even more importantly, there's another issue with the way the music was originally distributed. The Undertale Yellow team originally wound up uploading the music of that game directly to YouTube and then to platforms like Spotify and stuff without having a license in place first. And the thing is that once that's done, you basically have opened Pandora's box. Now you have to deal with YouTube's system trying to treat your remix as if it's an original composition. You uploaded it directly to YouTube, and YouTube doesn't have the back-end stuff going on that a proper licensor would have done to say, oh, this song is a remix of that song, this video should not be content claimed using the melody of the original song. And by the way Content ID typically works is it's like matching the melody. Like it hears the melody of the song you upload and says, oh, that's the same melodies as other tracks. Like that's how it figures it out. If you just upload straight to YouTube, YouTube is saying, oh, this contains the melody of that, which is why we copyright claim it. Sometimes it doesn't work quite right. Just for the record, I'm not like super 100% back-end detailed as to the Content ID like mechanics. That's Google. Sometimes YouTube will think that a song is an original composition if it's uploaded directly to the platform, and now you bump into some issues. So for example, let's say that with the way things were done, a third person uploaded a remix of an Undertale song. The possibility does exist where the third person would actually get a copyright claim, and the claim would say, oh, your remix of, let's say it's Megalovania, is copyright claimed by the Undertale Yellow team, because YouTube's system might accidentally think that Undertale Yellow's soundtrack is original and match the melody of that extra remix to Undertale Yellow and not directly to Toby Fox. Basically creates a possibility of confusion in the YouTube platform backend where a track might be accidentally matched to the wrong composition. And the issue with that then is that we don't have the power to resolve that claim. Typically speaking, if an Undertale claim comes across our desk and it's like, this YouTuber used Megalovania as background music in their video, we'll just let it go. We'll just dismiss the claim and they get to have their video and it's not a problem. But if that content claim actually goes to a different party, if it was the Undertale Yellow team stated to be the claimant on a new remix, we have no ability to control that. And so that takes control of letting people's music go away from us and away from Toby. If music is uploaded directly to YouTube and other platforms without going through the proper licensing channels, it removes the ability of the original composer to control what happens to their music.
What was the reasoning / motives behind Sebastian Wolff's sudden backlash towards creators and even Toby himself after the copyright drama following the release of Undertale Yellow?
So Sebastian is sometimes, I'm gonna say this as nicely as I can, not the best communicator, but he does have good intentions. What he's trying to do, get conversations going about copyright in music and get more people to understand it. Because if we have a broader ecosystem of creators who understand the basics of how copyright works, we can alleviate a lot of these issues before they ever happen. So when you go and you look at his Twitter threads and stuff like that, yeah, a lot of the way he talks is very terse and sort of lawyer brain, but he's trying to get a conversation going around that topic. Yeah, I definitely think that a lot of that Twitter thread could have been handled way better. Sebastian's intention is absolutely never to backlash against creators. I know that's hard to believe. His intention is to educate, even if that means sometimes he comes from an unfortunately condescending place, which I have admonished him a few times over.
Will Sebastian Wolff apologize for unprofessional handling of the Undertale Yellow situation?
I don't know. I definitely don't want to speak to what he's going to do or not do. He's talked to Toby a lot in private about the whole thing, and he definitely regrets a lot of the way the Twitter thread went down. But I can't tell you whether or not he's going to issue a statement. That's exclusively kind of on his plate.
What is the best way to use Undertale and Deltarune music in videos and to avoid getting automatically copyright claimed?
If you're using Undertale Yellow's music as BGM, right? You're making an unrelated video or whatever, and you're just playing the original soundtrack in the background. Don't worry about it. It will get copyright dinged, but then we will release the claim. We always do that. Toby's made that very clear. We honor that. If we get a Content ID claim that says, hey, this person is using Undertale Megalovania as BGM for something, we'll let it go. That's just a little bit of a process. You can also email us and you can say hey, I've uploaded this video. I have it set to private. I use this composition. Would you mind preemptively whitelisting the video to use this composition? And we'll get that work done for you. The situation is a little different if we're talking about remixes and covers. I'm going to disclaim this with I'm not a lawyer. I can't give you legal advice, but I can talk about the ways that we do music distribution and how to make that work. The simplest answer is go through a music distributor that will get you the license and let them upload it everywhere on your behalf. Don't upload the remix directly to YouTube yourself. Don't upload the remix to Spotify and Apple and those other platforms yourself. Go through a distribution platform like a DIY distributor that will get the license in place, and then they'll deliver it to you, and that will prevent your issue. There could be a hiccup where Content ID dings it anyway, but then we'll check that the license is in place and let it go.
So I assume that's why different fan games get claimed, because they use remixes and they don't publish the music through like the distribution companies or anything like that.
Precisely. It's because so fan games will put out a remix, upload it directly to YouTube themselves. If you do that, the license isn't in place, and then it becomes a claim issue. So
you upload like a video essay containing that remix that doesn't have anything to do with Undertale. Would that still have the same problem as a fan game?
Yes, absolutely. Anytime you're doing anything where you're like remixing or covering someone else's musical composition, that will apply. It's not just us. So, and this is actually a great point. This policy is not a Materia music policy. This is a music industry policy. This is the way copyright is administered throughout America. I want to be clear. Actually, I speak from the perspective of an American company under American law. Different territories have different laws. As far as America goes, and as far as we go, like, this isn't something Materia decided to implement. This is just the way the music industry works. I don't know if you've ever seen those signs around your city that say like "call before you dig," talking about like don't just dig into your backyard and find pipes underground. It's like that. It's like license before you post. Don't like upload your remix to YouTube and hope for the best. Go out of your way to make sure you have the license in place through a distributor, and then let them upload it for you, and you won't have to worry about problems.
During the Undertale Yellow copyright situation, the frequently asked questions sections was changed to specifically prohibit the usage of music from Undertale fan games in YouTube videos. Do you have anything against fan games specifically, even though they don't profit off of the works of Toby Fox? Additionally, are there plans to make these guidelines more reliable, as in giving content creators the ability to follow those rules without worrying that they may suddenly be changed in the future?
No, we definitely do not have anything against fan games. As a matter of fact, we love fan games. If people are making cool Undertale fan games or whatever, then that's awesome. We have no issue with that. As long as people take the steps to make sure the music is licensed properly before it gets uploaded, have a blast. One of the big things on Materia's sort of overall like roadmap right now is a much more robust sort of education initiative. Teach more people about, copyrights and how those relate to music and what to do with them. Like a more robust and specific FAQ on like, how do I put my remix on YouTube and not get copyright claim? How do I, use my music in a fan game and do that correctly? So yeah, we absolutely intend to help make things a little more clear for everybody.
Notice that some people who have their claims be reviewed and disputes get denied. For example, my recent live stream, copyright claimed. On Twitter, you guys said this is not our claim, but then that claim got released anyway by you all. So how come it got denied initially? How come you said it wasn't your claim? And then how come you were able to remove it if it wasn't your claim?
So I'll confess that like I'm not specifically the guy at the company who goes through claims and stuff. So like I wouldn't be able to just like snap my fingers and give you that insight in this call.
Hey everyone, Future Jamie here. We were actually looking over the video footage prior to publication, and my team gave me a little more info about the previous question that I thought I would help, elucidate a bit and give you some more context. I'm going to read this off like a script, so please bear with me if my reading is a little dry. Music exists in a worldwide ecosystem with hundreds of international agencies that exclusively control certain rights. For example, Latin Autor is a music society that is non-profit in Uruguay that helps collect certain types of royalties. Claim by Latin Autor means that a copyrighted melody was identified, and Latin Autor will collect royalties in that territory and make sure that composers and publishers are paid these royalties. The reason videos may get claimed by them is because YouTube will prioritize the most aggressive or assertive monetization and claim policy, and some of these agencies are more thorough and detailed than others. It is also generally not their policy to allow disputes on what they're considering to be valid claims, which they have the right to do. Our publishing division, which is Materia Music Publishing, is one of very few video game music rights companies with direct access to Content ID. While we may not place initial melody claims or matches, we sometimes have the ability to override them. We try to avoid doing that because technically Latin Autor and the other collection societies are 100% in their right to do so by whatever laws exist in their territories, and we don't want to cause international incidents. Sorry if that's not like the perfect answer everybody wanted, but it is the information that we have. Hopefully that clears up the previous question a little bit.
When we said that's not our claim, the actual intent behind that was probably what I said in the beginning of the interview, where like it's not our claim as in we did not manually go in and claim your live stream. The automatic robots did. The system did.
Can Undertale and Deltarune music be used in non-Undertale related videos?
Yes, absolutely.
Can copyright claims not be released on Undertale and Deltarune videos featuring modded gameplay?
So the content of the video isn't specifically relevant, it's the music. If the music is the original music of Undertale and it's just being used as like BGM and it's not a specific monetization of that, so you're not uploading the Undertale soundtrack to try to make money off the Undertale soundtrack.
What is the best way for content creators to easily reach out to Materia to get situations sorted?
If it's like YouTube copyright claim stuff, there's our publishing inbox, info@materiamusicpub.com. You can also hit me up on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at Jamie_Materia.
And that's it for the interview. YouTube thinks you'll like this video, so why not see if they're right? Thanks for watching.